Talia Shire, Peter Fonda. It was a good cast.
In all this writing, all through the years, did you ever think of winning an Academy Award? Did you ever think it was possible? Was it something on the back burner, or was it something like me? You never even think about it. You just live your life.
It wasn't like,
you just happy to
I gotta
eat.
win. I'm going to win an Academy Award. Like any other kid or even just person, not even in the film industry. When you watched the Academy Awards growing up, you always think, "Oh, what would I say if I was up there? Or what would it be like to be up there? Or maybe I'll be up there one day." But not actually when I was doing the work to do something. Just trying to make the best movies you can, even if I'm making a crappy little movie. And I made a lot of those. I'm still trying to make something good. I never thought of Academy Awards. And when we started getting on this ride, it was a nice thought. But, to me, it sounds cliche. The reward was I got the movie made with a lot of big people. It got seen. The audience response was unbelievable. This awards, like, sort of campaign, that was rough, man. That was rough.
Really?
That was, I said, these people, I used to play ball, baseball and stuff, and you win, you lose, you shake hands at the end of the game. That's how I was brought up. This is a brutal people. If they could chop your head off, they would. And I got a little thrown off by that. And then I started, we were getting attacked on every level. Like you said, the Shirley family, press. Oh, he's lying about this. Him and his father are racists. Vigo got attacked. Pete Farley got attacked. I got attacked brutally. People are trying to knock the movie down. But
how bad does it feel when somebody calls you a liar?
Crap.
And you know that you're telling the truth, and you really don't give a fuck. If he thinks I'm lying, I really don't give a fuck what he thinks. I know what happened. I was there or whatever.
But, I had to keep my mouth shut with a lot of things because of the good of the movie and the publicity. Because the more you say, I noticed that a couple of things I tried to explain, even though I'm telling the truth, they twist it. So even when I told the truth on a couple of things, they said, oh, yeah, that's convenient. Yeah, he didn't. Sure, he's saying that now. So how do you win? You can't win. Can't win. I don't even get into it. There was a tweet I made in 2015 about whatever I made it about, and they twisted it. It's not about what they said it was about, not what I meant was what I was talking about at all. And I couldn't come out and say, oh, that's not what I meant at all. You're reading it wrong. It's a tweet. So
how beautiful is it to take a look at one of your tweets from 2014 and sum you the fuck up in one fucking thought
in one thing,
in 140 words?
Right. Well, first of all, it shows you that they were digging. That's the best that they could come up with, right? Some stupid tweet I made. I'll say what it was. They were talking about. It was about when I guess Trump was saying he saw Muslims cheering in 9/11 on rooftops. Said he saw it on the news. So then the news came out and said, "Well, he's nuts and he's lying because it was never reported." Specifically, CBS News. He said, I think I saw it on CBS or something like that. I used to work for CBS News. 9/11 was crazy in New York, as we were in the tri-state area. Everyone was devastated. And on CBS News, they reported that this was going on. Now, whatever. I saw it. I watched it. 2014, 15, they said, oh, it was never reported. So for some stupid reason, that got I was pissed at the news. I'm like, how could they lie about that? Whether it happened or not, I don't know. I didn't see it happen. I saw the news report that said it happened. The news report said it happened. So all I said was, but I wrote it in an odd way. I said, yeah, 100% correct. Cheering going on. I think I saw it in CBS News. They came out and said I'm racist and I'm anti-Islamophobic. Rants and tweets. Well, first it was one tweet. No one. How does it make me racist? I didn't say. I just said I saw something on television. I saw the news report on television. That's it. But because it was a tweet, I could only write so many words. If I know I was right, if I don't write a dissertation, I would have said, "Oh yes, I also saw the news report that said that on TV. It was on Channel 2." Crazy. What went on with that is just insane, which shows they could say and do anything. So I didn't say anything about it because for the good of the movie, they didn't want me to say nothing. I wanted to defend myself and say, well, what they're saying is not the truth. I'm being accused of something I didn't do or didn't mean. It wasn't even in my heart, mind, or soul what they're saying. And that's what happened. So it taught me a great lesson. Luckily, I was not a real tweeter. I think I only did 20 tweets so in my whole life about come see this movie, go see my movie. That one in particular pissed me off because I thought, how could a news organization lie and say it wasn't on the air? And then I went on YouTube. I found it. I found the news report. It's on. It was on. People, everyone else that knows me saw it. People in Jersey. And I got a lot of people who don't know me said, "Oh, I saw that." But so what? I saw it on TV. What is that? What is that? We all saw planes hit a building. We saw the World Series being won. What if I said, "Yeah, I won I saw the Red Sox win the World Series." I saw it on television. I didn't do it. You know what I mean? It's bizarre.
So they come after you even when you win the fucking thing.
So it was a tough time. It kind of took the fun out of it for me, and but it didn't stop the movie, and the movie did well because I think most people saw through that. I think it's a small minority, and the people that report that stuff aren't real journalists. The real journalists, I met a lot of good ones along this trip. And they're good people, and they have brains in their head, and they ask both sides of the story. This was just attack. And you know what? But I'm a big boy. I could take it. I dealt with it. I said, whatever. I don't care what they think. So
Nick, a fucking Academy Award.
Won 2 Academy Awards.
You know what I'm saying? Academy Award. This is known. When you were writing it, who were you thinking of for the lead when you were writing it?
I knew it had to be an Italian. Before I met with Pete and Brian a couple of years before, when I was first thinking about it, I talked to James Gandolfini about it, and he loved it. And I was thinking, we were going to pursue that. Unfortunately, he passed away. So after he passed away, again, I put him sort of on the side burner. It's like, my father had passed away the same. Gandolfini, the last time I saw him was at my father's funeral. 4 or 5 months later, he passed away too. So it was really a rough sort of time for me. And then when I started doing it again with Brian Curry and Peter Farrelly, lots of names came up, and we talked to a lot of different people, and Pete met with some people, and then it was Pete that came to me and said, "What about Viggo Mortensen?" And Viggo Mortensen's one of my favorite actors of all time. And I went, "Wow, Viggo Mortensen's unbelievable." I said, "But Pete, there's something about it. I think the guy's got to be Italian, or at least half Italian, or have some of that sensibility, because you start doing a bad New York Italian,
terrible. It's
like a Saturday Night Live skit, right. Some guy's imitating Joe Pesci badly, So I thought about it, and I said, well, you know what? Who's the most iconic Italian character ever put on film? It's The Godfather. If you think of who's the biggest, The Godfather, Marlon Brando. Not Italian. Marlon Brando's Irish. Maybe mixed, whatever he is, but no Italian. I said, you know what? Viggo is like our Marlon Brando. And I said, Pete, I think you're onto something. I think he can do it. I pictured it in my head. And Viggo, man, what a job he did. That's my father. You watch that movie, that's exactly my father, how he was at that age. Viggo studied film, tape. Luckily, my father later in life was an actor, so he watched The Pope, he watched The Sopranos, he watched everything my father was in. Listened to the tapes that I recorded of my father telling the story. And he just gained 45 pounds, hung out with me and my brother and my uncles. He picked up not only the Bronx accent, but when he spoke in Italian, my father and his family had they were from Calabria. So the Calabrian accent mixed with the Bronx had its own sort of dialect, And Viggo was right on it. But that was Pete's idea, and it turned out brilliantly.
What did you start off as? You went to college?
I went to college, yeah.
What kind of degree?
Communications.
Did you think you were going to write it all?
Yeah, I always was writing from when I was a little kid. I wrote little books. I wrote little stories. I was writing.
And watching your dad act, did that inspire you to act? Or?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. But I loved it like I said, for when I was 10. I always knew I wanted to be an actor. I don't know why. It's not the smartest.
After The Godfather, did you do a bunch of stuff?
I wasn't like a kid actor. I did The Godfather, but that was the thing that got me like film, filmmaking. So I was always making little films. In those days, they had the 8mm cameras or Super 8. Yeah. literally cut them with scissors, put them together.
Fucking with fire?
Yeah, so I used to make my little movies, and then in high school, I was the only kid that took the film class and not go to sleep. So I watched, the film teacher was excited about that. Oh, finally one of these kids gives a crap. And so he would show me Citizen Kane and It's a Wonderful Life and all these great movies and learn about editing. Then I became an usher in a movie theater, and I'd watch movies over and over and over. And believe it or not, that was like a film school unto itself. Because I say, okay, now I'll watch how they edit it. Now I'll watch just the acting. Now I'll watch the action sequences. So every movie, because those days the movie's there for 9 months, so you watch it hundreds of times. So I just loved film, and I always knew I wanted to get into it. So I went to college for communications, studied film and TV. I was acting during college. I started doing the extra work in New York. And,
how long were you kicking around New York?
Off Broadway, I did lots and lots of theater.
How long did you kick around New York for?
I was from right out of high school. Even when I was in college, I was doing stuff in New York till I was almost 30, and then I moved to LA.
And when you moved to LA, what did you want to do?
Well, same thing. I knew I had to get out here and
get to it.
And get it.
How long till you sold your first script?
I sold the script like very quickly.
Really?
As soon as I got out. So when I got out here, I got a play. I got a TV show, and I sold the script like right away. Just boom. So but then after that, it went downhill for a while. But when I first got here, it went good.
And what do you mean downhill?
Well, then it was. Then it was the struggle. You know, I was back trying to get movies made, write some more scripts. I was getting little ones done here and there, but I was like working in clubs. I was doorman, and that's when the clubs in LA were big time with lines down the block. Working in all the hot clubs, which was good and bad. But meeting different people, and then still continuing to do some whatever little theater was in Los Angeles, and then writing and directing and producing little indie movies. I was the type of guy, I'm not getting cast in something, I'll write something, put myself in it, and make it myself. That's how I was. So I did a bunch of those type of movies.
Good for you, man. You never stopped.
You just keep going.
And the thing I like about you is that you're a Renaissance man. You'll act for 2 weeks, then write for 2 weeks, then go here for 2 weeks. You went to the Kentucky Derby.
Well, there's things like they say about guys like me, jack of all trades, master of none. But I like doing lots of different. To me, it's all one thing. It's art, and like you see guys like us that people think, they think they're actors, but it is a Renaissance man in the sense of, I never wanted to pigeonhole myself, and I liked lots of different things. I did some musical theater, I sang. I danced. I just love the arts, I guess. But when you say that and you're a big mug, they think you're a moron. But I studied it, read about it. I like all kinds of literature, film, books, and so drama, comedy, a little bit of everything. So why can't you do everything?
We're going in like fucking Marines. You understand me?
Welcome to church, motherfucker.